I'm back.
Oh, that was quick.
And I'm just waiting for the client to properly boot me in game.
It was really fun watching the custom content the other day with Careless.
Getting spoilers, I see.
I mean, it was a very large scale zone. I will tell you that.
Gotcha. So something to look forward to.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not like singular custom. It was very large scale.
Interesting.
All right, so Assassin and all that stuff is still down. Executioner has repopped. Everything downstairs is repopped.
Well, so like we need to go do executioner and stuff then? We can just
Yeah,
jump
let's
down here.
just drag it all down. I think since I have a heal and you have a heal now, it might be easier just to do a full drag.
Sure. And we're getting stronger.
Now, almost all these are light blue.
Executioner up, no axe.
I'll
I'm
bring
just,
OBs to you.
you know where I'm standing. Because I always stand kind of at the same spot where I died that one time. Ding. Ooh, Torgor's Lesser Conjuration Air or Barrier of Combustion.
We have combustion. Well, I have combustion. I
So
would
I
get
can
a
get
new
it.
pet.
You would? But I mean, single target slow's nice. But yeah, I think you're right. Because we're not fighting slowly.
That and I think your bard slow is going to be. I'm going to heal
More
this real quick.
useful.
It's probably
Because
going to
I
be
can
enough
pull
for
aggro
now.
and... That was your group heal? Yeah, that's nice actually. When we're both low, you can just boom,
Yeah.
done. Just the mana cost is the only shitty part.
The benefit is that with Mana Pres, if Mana Pres is working the right way, it's not as bad.
True.
But I also have 2,200 mana, so it's not the end of the world if I have to cast that every once in a while.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a druid spell for you. And...
Excellent. Wind of the North. Now I have all the Kunark teleports. Just for when it's time tonight, when we get all of our prog done.
Yeah.
I'm pulling to the safe hall.
Okay, I'm still at the same spot, and I lost Sao again, so yay. But yeah, I would like at some point to get an AE point blank. That would be amazing, but they're going to be hard to find high level ones for. Because you figure it's only in wizard coins, and then wizard coins, right? They're pretty rare, the PBAs. It's literally just one spell out of all the others for like a 10 level range. Until we get to Jill's, at least. So do you want to go ahead and go do Lord first?
Yeah, we can go do them first. Just get them on timer.
We can at least go right before the room, you know?
Yep, I'm
Oops,
gonna
I can
bring
pull the room on
Magus
accident.
placeholder up too.
We got a lot coming.
Oh.
And I think... No, it's just a wizard. We'll just prioritize the wizards. Come here, wizard. Can I please target you? There we go. Yeah, I guess that doesn't work so well. Now I'm stunned. Okay, and I'm stunned again.
Stunning them?
Okay.
Or I'm getting stunned?
Yeah, it's alright.
Perma stunned? They're stunned?
Yeah, as long as I get a crit here and there on healing, we're good.
We're pretty cushy even doing this.
I may still pump stamina because I can hold aggro really well with just my snare song. And if I can keep that aggro and I can just take the hits, you can kill them, you know? Especially if I'm just healing when I can, and essentially if I have hit points and agility, I can potentially just survive, you know? And I'm fine dying, obviously. I tend to prioritize dying. Which does bring up another question. I'm up to 2 unspent, and I'm not fully sure what I'm going to go for next.
Well, let's go clear Frenzy, and then we can take a break to look at A's.
Yep, sorry, I got to get silos. Are you just going to pull Frenzy all the way to the other spot? Or just kill it Frenzy?
I'll be honest, that other the other thing has wisdom shoulders, so it might be worth it.
Yeah, dude, you getting all the wizard nukes is nice, especially with your int, because you're taking care of shit. I would have no chance against this large of a group without you here. And while I'm helpful with healing, it's not as pivotal as you being an enchanter wizard.
My feign is actually working too, which is nice finally.
I
But
might
even if
need
I
to
do,
keep
I can
scaling
just
it.
drop it again.
Yeah.
But it will be pivotal eventually. Like I can tank a few if I need to. So like if we ever get into that spot where we're like, oh my gosh, you're gonna die, you know, if you need to emergency feign, it'll be good, I think.
Yep. But I am leaning towards, and we're about to talk about this, kind of like
There's some egg capsules I missed there.
A what? A capsule, got it. I'll pick it up. At this point, most egg capsules we get are just getting destroyed because of dupe, you know? Which is fine.
We might just keep a few that are unupgraded and
Oh, so when we destroy them, but the problem with that is they're lore, so unupgraded can't be stacked. This might be too many. I don't know. Let's see. The frenzied is up too, which is going to hurt a lot. Yeah.
And we got a sentinel.
Yep. It's all right. I'll start padding.
I think your pet is holding Sentinel somewhere.
Bonus. I'll bring him over. Do a new snare. Okay, Sentinel's coming. I threw some heals to both pets just to kind of help. Because they were doing a lot of tanking, honestly.
Rue.
Moonstone ring. Womp womp. Because we could even consider a slight shift where, for example, you can keep getting, well, heck, okay. I mean, we can talk about this, but okay, so let's say that I do Stamina Whiz and basically take advantage of how well snare AE slow is doing for aggro, combined with you being able to feign. And essentially, I'm just a, tank DPS shield. So they're all beating on me, and you're AEing them. So you go int and whatever complements in to make you do the most damage, right? Yeah. To as many targets as possible. Then we can just pull zones potentially eventually. With that in mind, I may want to go like cleric, potentially shaman after you get a heal. I think you should keep going cleric until my heal starts to suck. But eventually I might shift to taking over cleric, and you might shift to grabbing things that complement wizard, maybe even bard. I don't know. I mean, until bard gets fixed, it's kind of a shitty class right now.
Well, I think eventually I'll rotate off enchanter too, because I think it would be
because
beneficial
you're already
for both
getting
of us to have stuns.
And I would love, if there's a low level enchanter, I'd love to get Mez. Just, you know what I mean? But yeah, me getting a stun would be amazing too. Yeah, absolutely.
That, but like I think I would prioritize, especially for like bosses, probably dot. So I would probably roll like shaman, necro wizard, and maybe magician. But then everything else could go back to you because
Yep.
druid is going to be, druid and cleric are going to give you the best shot at sustain.
Yep. Howdy, Ryan. So yeah, with that in mind, there's a few ways I should go. Things like Armor of Wisdom is interesting, which is an Agi Wiz combo. Like, there could be an argument for me to go something like Stamina, Agi, Wiz, right? Still maintain like a little bit of strength for ferocity and stuff, but like for the long term, because we're gonna get a lot of AAs. If I just, because we're starting to hit a point where my tank ability is a direct reflection of how many we can pull, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I could tank it all, you can kill it all. Because as long as your AE doesn't have a cap, which I think there was a mention it's 20.
Yeah, that's what they said.
But even still, it just means you got to do more AEs. That's not a big deal. Your mana pool is pretty huge. So I'm thinking I might start pumping stamina again.
Okay. It looks like things might be repopping. Looks like assassin just repopped. We have a little bit of time still.
I see in execution room is popped. Mystical Attuning, which is stamina and agi, is giving buff slots 2 per rank. That's nice. Because if I'm main tanking, I'll be fucking debuffed all hell and losing shit. Stamina Wiz gives the group heal as well, which is nice. Stamina or Wisdom Charisma is the potency thing. I feel you were mentioning that, right? Which is healing adept is poggers. 35% per rank, 5 ranks, 100 and something healing. Holy shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that stacks properly, that's nuts.
Like, that's pivotal.
Yeah. So
I could work towards that. The sooner I get that, the more tanky I'm going to be. There's no way I can get 125% more health. You know?
Well, it would be cool to see, too, how much Healing Gift actually affects crit chance, too. If it's scaling like Healing Adept, and Healing Gift 3 gives you a 100% chance to crit, you're doubling your output, basically.
Yep, which was Healing Gift, is what you said?
Yeah, it's just flat whiz.
Yeah, I already have it. I got it maxed. It's just a probability thing. Okay, so I'm going to aim for the Wiz Charisma build, I think. But that's going to take me a while, just heads up. It's going to take combined Wiz and Charisma at 5. And for combined Wiz and Charisma, I need to get both to 15, and I'm currently 10. But yeah, I'll just keep pumping Wiz to max, and then I'll work on Charisma. Which means my pet's going to get...
again. What are you wearing?
My gaunts are, I think, loam still, but they're epic, so they're pretty good. Those gaunts...
I don't know, man. Those ones are...
Let's see if I can get the upgrade.
The mana is crazy.
Epic, yeah, it might be worth it.
Just re-roll the second one if the first one wasn't good.
Of course. I gotta hide it. They're both rares.
Yuck.
Or no, epic and rare. Yeah, I got the worst rolls. But okay. Are you heading down to...
I'm in the
safe room. Yeah, I see you now. Go do Executioner, Assassin, stuff like that.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. Did you get your new pet up?
Nope. Let me do that. Are we going to flip to Jasper soon?
I don't know if we ever do.
I thought normally Jasper becomes required later. Okay. The perk with Charisma is that it also increases pet power.
Does it really?
Yeah. Your pets scale based on Charisma.
Based on their charisma or our charisma?
Your Charisma. Player's Charisma. I think I want to get a light burlap. I already have one, never mind.
We gotta wait. This stuff didn't respawn underneath us yet. Killing too quickly.
It's fine. Gives me a moment. So what are you thinking? You're just going to keep going int? What are you going to combo it with, you thinking?
I'm testing out the int strength build
Mm-hmm.
to get into. I want to see. Keep losing the thing. Hold on.
Deep gouge,
Deep
you're
gouge,
mentioning.
yeah. That's what I'm shooting for.
You're just, and it sounds like you're going to lean towards probably, and this makes sense, PBAE when we pull big like this and we're EXPing, and then shift to dots on single target big boss, right?
Yeah. When seeing how the stacking damage stacks, because if I can run dual wield quick weapons and it has a chance to stack this times infinity, I can run dots and just melee in between, and it could potentially just be a chunker.
Yep.
Until some of the other stuff like devastating destruction comes out and those kind of things, it just doesn't make much sense for me to go anything else yet.
Right.
Embrace the Beast looks kind of crazy.
It doesn't work though.
Oh, unfortunate.
Something I found out earlier, because, I was testing all the early game bugs, that if you're in Nariac C as a Dark Elf, the fourth quarter link for Call of the Forsaken, the fire pot works, but it takes you to Lesser Fate Arc.
Oh no.
So I was there at like level 3 or 4, kiting Crookstinger, getting daggers. Thought it was funny.
Let's go down and see if the stuff is up. I don't know if up here isn't up, but I don't know if down there, I don't know how this stuff spawned before everything else.
Well, Executioner's up. I'm going to kill it and bring it to you. Or you're going to come to me. Same difference. Two Exy hoods, which are shitty heads that might tribute okay or sell okay. Not that we're like hurting for money. Braided cinch and another eye. So which one did you get fabled? The eye or the eggs?
I think the eye. Let me see if I have eggs in here somewhere.
Because what I figure is we can keep rolling on these until both of us get a fabled, And then until you get a fabled, you can eat them.
Yeah.
So that actually rewards you for not getting a fabled quickler. Because, if you get all the sub ones first.
I have a fabled eye. I don't have eggs.
Okay, so I have a fabled egg, but no eye. So from now on, eggs, you roll. Eyes, I'll roll. Cool.
Yeah.
And majority of them you can just eat. It's fine. Until you get your fabled, who cares?
Yeah.
You can keep an extra one on hand if you want, but I wonder if well, we're rangers. Never mind. I was going to say, I wonder if we get the native mitigation that warrior gets, but nope. And yeah, nothing's popped. We can go get the hand while we're waiting, even though it has shit loot. Just something to do, you know?
True.
I feel like they fucked with the named tier, made them harder.
The names?
Yeah, like the drop rate is shit for like Lord. You don't normally cycle this much for a Lord spawn.
Oh yeah, Lord for sure.
Someone was commenting in bugs that getting a rare from Seb was taking forever. Another Serpentine. Because they're not lore, I might go ahead and just roll it if that's cool.
Sure.
Let's see what it turns into. Because I have a bronze, so who cares? I got a Fabled, nice. Which is not horrible. I mean, 18 agi, it's going to add up, especially if he does have the AC and dodge mechanic added. I'm a little speculative. Especially because there's so much incomplete on the server of like what exactly is working, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I was talking.
Your slashes are doing nuts damage though. 600 damage on that last swing.
Yeah, 297, 322. Just for turning on attack. And you figure high delay is also impacted by haste higher. So it's why I'm like, wait a second, two-hander is scaled too well. I mean, all hits and all characters are doing high damage, but slash is definitely up there. Especially because Frenzy's triggering off of it too, you know? Anyways, I was talking to Tack, as per usual, you know, going over all my crazy ass server ideas. I think I enjoy more talking about making a server than I do actually making the server. You know, like theory crafting or what do you think of this? You know, like I do that all the damn time. Sweet.
No, I agree with you 100%. If you know, if you had a group of guys and you're like, this is what I want done, go do it.
Yeah.
It would be fun. But when you have to do all of it and
yep, it's just a lot of work. Legs are shit, and I have loam. That's going to be hard to beat, but I'll still roll it just because. Yeah. Waste of time. Yeah, but the whole developing or implementing it part aside, we got 2 in the room. Lord hasn't spawned yet, so we might be able to get there quick and pull before Lord.
It's something spawned up there.
Oh, never mind.
Not Lord again.
Yep. So here's the idea. What I'll do, or you know, what I was a theory crafting is keep EQ, you know, vanilla progression, whatever. We can lace in some custom shit, you know what I mean? Some RNG progression, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's, you know, content's content. But what I'd focus on is spells progression and do a spell squish and simplification. So, for example, let's say native EQ, cleric gets minor healing at level 1, and shaman gets minor healing at level, you know, what, 7 or 4 or 3 or whatever it is. And druid gets it at another level, right? that same mechanic would work, but instead of calling it minor healing, it would just be called healing, and it would be formulated so that it scales per level. And druid, shaman, and cleric all use the same spell, and they all just get it at different levels, and the scaling per level means that the druid one will always be worse because of the level difference. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I is yours? Where's
No,
eggs?
I is yours. I need eggs.
No, yeah, you're right. Sorry. And, ooh, I kept it. Does that mean I got a fabled? I got a fabled. All right. I'll put that on my serpentine fabled. Why not? That makes it look a lot better than it really is. Anyways, so to kind of expand upon that, let's say enchanter. Enchanters get like intellectual superiority and gift of mana and, basically plus mana, plus int whiz, plus spell casting level, and we're fighting that, plus mana regen, right? These are all buffs that a enchanter normally has to get.
Yeah.
Imagine instead that, let's say level whatever 3 or 4, some key level, you just get like clarity, and then you can get AAs that turn clarity into also giving a level scaled int and whiz buff, or level scaled mana buff. Like multiple AAs turn clarity into all those other buffs as well. And that whole squishing means that the game just gets really dumbed down and simplified when it comes to spell management, and you know what I mean? You get one spell and you're done, essentially. It just scales with you infinitely. Same with slow, right? You get like walking sleep. It'll probably just be called, Torgor's insect or something. And that one will go all the way up to 75%, when you hit level 50-ish. And by doing that, especially like HP buffs and stuff, you're never going to have buff issues per se. Anyways, that was idea one. And on that, if I wanted to be ambitious, this would be very controversial, is that I make all heals into buffs, where whenever you cast a heal on someone, it's a buff with like a X second delay before the actual heal triggers. So then there is no longer the one tank with 20 cleric padding mechanic at all, right? Like it's totally been outed. And to complement that, there would still be instant heals, but they would be things like, whatchamacallit? Like lay on hands. Things that are like 30 minutes or an hour reuse would be your only instant heals, which means lay on hands would get heavily boosted in usefulness, right? Because in a clutch situation, you don't have like 20 spells or choice seizure of like how exactly you're going to save them. It's literally like there's only a small handful, and it makes paladins like pivotal when it comes to the oh shit button. But this also means that like mobs could actually be nerfed, because a lot of the scaling, especially in group and raid content, is because all you need is a healer or two, and you can just counter any sort of damage, The cleric problem, stacked clerics. Anyways, and then another thing would be, okay, well, what about if you just tank dance, where tank A and tank B flip-flop aggro, and then you could just pad the two, right, and cut the healing in half, because you could just pad both of them, right? The answer to that, and this is again like, this is theory crafting, none of this is really thought through, just me whimsically thinking. When you press the taunt button, you put a debuff on the target. That debuff, if it lands, puts you on top of hate, and then when it fades, it gives you a raw aggro amount, like normal hate value. So every time you press taunt, you're really just trying to put that debuff on it. And obviously, if two tanks are competing for aggro, that debuff will hurt that. You have to time your taunts between those buttons, and you have to land it, which is even harder. And then combine that with a mechanism where, let's say you're a shaman and you go over and you spam slow on the mob and they really hate you, right? You did high aggro. So you start kiting it and leverage that sort of mechanic. Design it where the AI will notice the distance between top hate and any of the nearby players. And if any of them are closer and it makes more sense based on the hate difference, it'll flip priorities and actually lower aggro on the shaman and just flip and aggro on the mob, the player that's closer. So you can't just cheese it as easily, Stuff like that. And that would actually improve AI heavily. You wouldn't just, have predictable outcome. Oh, I just spam it with spells and I get top hate, and then nobody has to worry about aggro management, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So anyways, just little ideas like that. A, simplifies spells in general. You're not just getting overlaps constantly every 3 levels. And B, would make the game a lot spicier when it comes to group management of hate. And that's what I would do. I just sit down and be like, how do we make this more interesting and a little bit more challenging, but also this foundation would be great for the boss battle system, right? Especially if you're speed running and you want to just make a shaman real quick, you no longer have to be okay, I'm level 30, so I need to get this level slow and I need to get this level heal, maybe have the lesser. No, there's just one heal, one slow, right? Not even enough to fill your bar potentially, because, all your stat buffs would be one buff. So, anyways, I don't know. I thought that would be interesting. And that kit of just simplifying EQ, I feel would be a good template for future servers and stuff too.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Just cleaning it up and rebalancing. Another thing I was thinking on, and sorry, I'm just, like I said, I'm always tangenting, is, how a lot of combat is randomized heavily? The values, even when we're combating, it's you hit for 5 and then you hit for 115. Yeah. Do a ceiling or even an average system where it takes your min and max and just puts that as a fixed value on every swing. Maybe still have the miss mechanic, but then all values of hits are at least predictable. And, potentially even the hit and miss system, because I don't know. I feel like EQ, it is fun that it's a D&D system where you're rolling a D20 and all that. But the idea of numbers being cleaned up means that you can project better, the predictability of a fight,
Yeah,
and even,
that's definitely true.
Well, for balance especially, numbers have to be really high for Avatar of War. And if you get a bad round or two, you could potentially wipe no matter how good your heal rotation is, right? Just because the dice roll against your favor. I don't know. Those just little things like that, which have huge impact and implications to a server,
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. What are your thoughts on any of those? Any of those sound interesting or whatever?
I definitely think it's viable. I like maybe less linear approaches, giving people the opportunity to control their own fate per se. That's kind of, I like the idea of simplifying the spells for sure. But within that, I feel like we would have, I guess, would have to find a way to manipulate those spells. So for instance, on here, you could say intelligence makes slows stronger. So if you're as an bad example, right? Or
yeah.
stamina makes the slow stronger. Charisma
Yeah.
makes the slow last longer. So you're still like manipulating the simplified version of the spell. So
Yeah.
like dexterity makes your heals crit harder, while wisdom makes them baseline for more.
Yeah.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that. So just
Modifiers and
exactly.
influencers. Well, and even kind of what I was saying with AAs, which here, this is literally what you do, right? You're pumping AAs to impact the playstyle of spells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that. And, I'm thinking more like unlock. Yes, exactly. Influencers. Influencing. But yeah, absolutely. It would be interesting too to make it where like this is something I did with Rebuild, is it's not like this or that, or even more, you lose something to gain something. So, like Languid Bite in THJ, it's a later AA. It makes it where whenever you land a slow, there's a cascaded decay trigger that makes a dot. Mm-hmm. Designing a system like that, but instead of it being a secondary effect, the slow itself has a dot component if you invest in it, but in exchange, the slower rate is less. So you can land a slow that's a little less percentage, but does DPS in exchange. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that sort of foundation where it's like, you can get a fire pet and make it do this is what I did in Rebuild, if you remember, where it's like, an equivalency exchange. You can fine tune all of your skills by choices, and those choices can heavily impact your build style of your final character.
Mm-hmm.
If your group doesn't has really good, like you have a healer, you have a really good tank, you may not need it to be at 75% slowed. You'll sacrifice it and go down to 50% because your tank doesn't do high DPS and you are support. You can kind of turn yourself into like a hybrid necro shaman, right?
Would it be easier to keep that within your rebuild talent system, or would there be a way to add that to items?
Yes. I mean, I don't know if there'd be a cost CPU wise on a machine, like, on a server to scan for inventory of the caster. But that actually is technically happening with AAs. That is one downer though. Let's say I am like, even with the case of the shaman, remember Languid Bite being part of the original slow and having a dot instead.
Yeah.
If the shaman left the zone and the dot is still ticking away, the damage component would potentially go away, because information like that is normally not stored in the debuff itself. It's actually stored on the caster. But there's nothing that stops me from expanding buff to add metadata that says this was casted with this state, and that means there's no lookup. And once you do that, yeah, absolutely. Because right when the spell lands, I'll do an inventory scan, find out you have XYZ buff or focus effect or whatever, and then off its merry way, right? And then you're no longer attached to it. Your current gear doesn't impact it,
Yeah.
So that also has a balance on, like, you can't bando swap it out. You know what I mean? And like double dip.
Yeah, for sure. And like I'm a big fan of potential loss for better items, right? So like,
yeah,
we've talked about it a million times, but having like a gem or aug system where these things could be affected, where like I have a gem that changes haste into XYZ. Well, I want to upgrade it, and then I go and try to upgrade it, and it destroys it. That creates that like angst, but also the drive for gambling. People love to gamble,
Yep, I pulled some just for fun. Yeah, you don't mind a sacrifice for greater good.
Oh, absolutely. We're seeing it in this game too,
Yeah.
You get like a basic thing, and you're like, well, this thing might be good like that, or I can send it, and it might poof.
Yeah. Yeah, this server definitely like encourages us to be grouped, or encourages people in general to stay grouped and not go around soloing because you die. It's annoying to get a res, or you know what I mean? The walk of shame through the temple. These doors are absolute cancer.
I hate them on every server I play.
Yep.
Executioner is up.
Nice. Anyway, so just top level, does that sound interesting and fun?
Yeah.
Kind of generally speaking, this sort of falls into what I was describing with the whole solo server thingy, or the, not solo, but the boss battle server, is if I can create a kit system where you can like spin up a character and it's not a huge amount of configuring to get the character up, that encourages you to like mix match, you know, do what you just said with like the items, and, you know, ultimately, quickly get a character from 0 to hero and useful would be nice, because that encourages me to like make mini scenarios and let you challenge it. Because normally Q is very arduous to set up. Like if you take your character on THJ and you're instantly level, 65, and you had all your AAs, and let's say you had all your gear, it still would be a huge pain in the ass to go through all your AAs, set up the hotkeys, set up all your spells. So sorry, I'm not healing you properly, or it's slowing. I'm talking too much. you know what I mean? There's a setup time to make a character in EQ, and I don't like that. And I feel like a lot of it could be saved as simple as, cleaning up spells and making it where there's just one heal. There's just one nuke. Like Wizard gets frost and that's it. That frost nuke will scale every level. And then fire gets fire for the rest of Wizard. I guess one downer to that is cast time. But I would much rather have it where, for example, I'd have to see about this. Can I impact the cooldown time of spells from server side?
Well, also that, but like think about this too, where like the cast speed, you can change the way like spell haste on items is utilized, and instead of having it be per level, like I don't know, spell haste 4 goes up to level 60. Spell haste 4 is 40%.
Yeah. No, I have to see about that's some of the stuff that gets a little tricky, which is like client side, server side syncing, ensuring that like, there's no desyncs with cooldowns and stuff. But I would actually like it where I literally just say, this spell gem is now a 5-second recast. And then when you hit the next level, it's now a 10-second recast. So you just have more gem lockouts. And not so much more cast time. So that just means that you're not always seized up casting a spell. I didn't like that with how Wizards did that over time,
Yeah.
Where it's like 6 seconds to cast Ice Comment or something stupid. And even though spell haste is a good mechanic, I'd rather that not even be a case, and instead it would be spell haste impacts cooldown time. So that 6 seconds of sitting around for that spell to come back gets removed. I don't know. That will be a fun one to test. Like how to best balance that and what the client would support.
Feels like this stuff is popping very slowly now.
Right. Well, what we can do. We didn't get Bind Affinity, right?
No.
I got Gate. But what are your group ports now?
I have Nectalos, Fadark, Wind of the North and South, Talk, Blightfire, and that's it.
So I got one of the best ones, which is Row. But Fadark is also great because we can use Fadark and then go bank either in Kelethin or isn't Felwith closer?
Yes.
To the, yeah. So if we, let's say, oh wait, I don't need this on my bar. Let's say that we go to Fade Arc. I can sell. That's one of the issues we have here is I'm literally stuck here and just overloading my inventory and never making money. And then I start just deleting things.
I'm not looting anything, so my bags are mostly empty.
Yeah. And then my heart flutter was level 13. Jesus. Okay, and then if I go to row, then we're going to have the ports to all the different zones. Do you think it's worth it to go to like permafrost or something? Just because of the outer arrow shit, like the global drops and the weird, because you can tell all this shit got itemized weird. In that respect, that's what I mean. Just to try it and see. Plus, I think we need that for Flux Staff. And I still think Flux Staff is going to be worth it.
I think we should make sure we get as much of our gear in order as we can before we start dabbling in that kind of stuff. Although, like, I don't know, maybe giving Vox an attempt isn't the worst thing.
Well, I would actually think it would be fun to try the Hill Giant at some point. I just don't know how soon.
He does what the bards did to you.
No, that's special. I got a 35% res, a guard AC, and burning arrow. Burning arrow is like a 0.5, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I use, and it does. Well, I use flaming arrow, which I think is the lower level version, and it does 600 damage.
Yeah, I will get burning arrow. I don't think this is a debate.
No, I picked up Clarity 2 on my last one.
I saw that and you casted it like right after. Where am I going to put this? Because it's got a slow recast. I'll put it in shift 2. We'll see how that feels. Anyways, no, I'm just more thinking of like, we have downtime. We could potentially like go to GFA, sell. I could take us to row. That'll take us to South Row, right, with the Magus. And then we can run back here before repop. And just in general, we can just bank between Lord respawns, you know?
No Lord again. Are we supposed to go to a custom zone to kill him?
Let's look it up after we kill this. Let's see. Too far away? He's literally right there. What the hell's going on? Oh, my spells are seized up. Why are my spells seized up? Alright, I'm gonna load skin. No, I'm not on Quorum. This is called Age of Titans. It is a very custom server. Okay. Okay. Can I cast now? Yes. Good. I did. I reloaded UI. And it fixed it. Thank you for that tip, Dougal. Okay.
Okay,
Doesn't
so
that suck?
where can you port yourself to?
Row.
Like if you want to go sell,
I'd go to row.
I have no reason to sell. I have nothing in my bag.
Yeah.
I'll take a quick AFK. I have to put my kids to bed. If you want to go sell and then run back.
Yeah, that could work. Is there anything you want to kill real fast before I leave? Or like...
Frenzy should be up, but I don't even think I would use a Frenzy belt if it dropped. You would.
No, because we have Tribute, dude.
If we don't even kill him anymore. I hate these doors.
I agree. What do you mean more than THJ? I maybe missed the context of that. But,
yes, it's more custom than THJ.
Yes. It is classless, and it is like roguelike. So, if you liked Chain Breakers from Secrets, this is probably up your alley. because it has that vibe. All right, let's see. Does this do any damage? 366. What level is your arrow?
29.
So mine, oh, geez. Mine is level 39, but remember, I have no int. I think that's the difference between your int and mine.
AoE heal.
Yeah, oh, sorry, I just AE healed. Or I single healed, but yeah. We're okay. I have no clue what you're talking about. I'll just watch. Yeah, no worries. So Quarm is made by a guy named Secrets. Secrets made a custom server before Quarm, and it was called Chainbreaker, and it was a classless, very custom server. So if you play on Quarm, you may have played that in the past, is why I guess not, though. I think Quarm was a lot more popular than his custom stuff, so there's a lot of community probably there that has no idea about his past servers. Quarm is getting very custom, though. He's definitely ambitious with, like, solo self-found hardcore, you know, all the crazy stuff that he does. You played on Quarm, but nothing else? You know, that's an argument, by the way. ROF2 Plus, I could actually make it manage TACP client assets as well. AKA, you know what I mean, Quarm and all those. But then I'd have to do a DLL inject in their code, which might be hard. I'd have to think about that. Zeal does a lot of that already.
We have cleared all of the major camps, so we can take our... How do I tell if I'm actually feigned?
You have to con a mob. In fact, well, no, does your pet see you amiable?
In diff?
Yeah, that means your feign worked.
Okay.
If he was amiable, then you failed.
Okay, I'll be back in a little bit.
Cool. I'll go do my selling. My row is a portal, so I'm going to disband group. Is your buddy in the bathroom? No. It's just probably where he was standing when he said goodbye. All right, so we're going to go to North Row, probably go to the Magus, sell there. Would like to go hit the tribute merchants, but I don't know where the closest tribute merchant is in East Commons or East Freeport. The server is indeed public. You can find it on... if you ever ask about what the server is, here's the TLDR. It is currently on Kunark working on Velius, but you can see this is Eldon stuff here. Where did the Magus go? There she is. You can watch all my money pour down as I sell. Those topazes, I got 38 and they're worth 4 plat apiece. That adds up. Before I do this, I'm going to go check tribute. I'm going to see if I can find it. Expansions still matter. the difficulty of the content will definitely scale up as you go higher. But they do, but it's solvents. They're not distillers. So it would just destroy it. Which, once ROF came out, you can just right-click destroy, so solvents are useless. Okay, so does the Tribute Master live here? Does not look like it. No, he does. You actually sell general supplies right here. Oh shit, I'm in Dark Elf form. I probably should click that off before I go into a town. So, Tribute Master. Mysterious Forces. Where is the Tribute Master? It doesn't let you see where he's at. I never go to Freeport, so Zon Stonehands. That's right, Roast. Your corpse poofs, and the only way to get out is if you port. Zon Stonehands, where the hell is he? I understand he's there. Give me the location. Let's use MQ emulator. Zon Stonehands. Okay. Yep. Locations. Click the location. No. Click the coordinates. It's loading the map. Because MQ, or the nav system isn't working, I have to do this like this. So he is this the new Freeport? Fuck. It's probably going to be on the west side, but this is the wrong zone. Of course it's the wrong zone. Is this the right one? Yeah. Okay, we're close. In fact, I think he's literally where I was guessing. He is... Man, this map is taking forever. It's like... Okay, so there is... Why is this so laggy? I think he's down in here. Yeah. Which I think means we have to come over here. And then down here. And into here. Okay. And then he is in the building. Right there. Yep. Here we go. Okay. So the reason I came here, yes, you can tribute all these things. Including holy shit at mana stones. So epics are 154 or 15k. I think they all are. I'll keep a normal mana stone, donate the rest. Some won't work, I think. Like this one's out of charges, so we're going to donate this. That one's out of charges, so we'll donate that. This one is not. Perfect. So we'll keep this one. Cool. Enameled is not worth many. This shit doesn't tribute well. Pretty much it's just Mana Stone is worth tributing. But that's good. Okay, so now that we got tribute, I want to get Swift Arms, because that'll give me 41% haste, or at least tier 3 is 31%. Definitely worth it. Okay, what else we got? We can get hit points. We can get the double chance res, which is probably worth it. The wisdom is probably very much worth it. Because 2 wisdom per, I got 8 points. It's 8 whiz. It's not horrible. Regen. Improved damage. Efficiency of songs. It's not bad. MR is worth it. Because of how annoying MR is here. AC is okay. Mana regen would be okay, but not amazing. Okay. I'll do the res chance. I think it's worth it. Okay. And anything else? Strength? Probably worth it. I can't even pump it. That's fine. Cool. So it's going to cost me 110 and it's going to last. Wait, what's my, is it Alt U? Yeah, we can activate that. Cool. So now we got more stats. Worth it. May as well sell the remaining. Yeah, I think I'll still sell that. We'll get more later. Okay. That heavily reduces my inventory burden. So let's go ahead and portal out. And pretty much the rest I can either destroy or just double check. I do need to go to a banker at some point. Oh, wait. I forgot. Did I? Okay, good. I was going to say, did I destroy this? But no. Okay, how do I distill? This says it needs class 7 augmentation distiller. I have a class 5. Shit. I messed up the numbers. You sell. or a perfected augmented. So in other words, because I messed up, I do not have the option. These solvents just destroy it. Poopy. Anyways, we're going to go talk to the Magus. Go to Nadaria. And then Nadaria to South Row. We do have this guy, but it won't work with what we need. We'll double check the Magus here. Just to see... Where is the Magus? There she is. Yeah, she has an Aug solvent, but that's it. So, didn't have any rubies, unfortunately. These guys can drop something that's worth about 60 plat. We'll see if we get lucky. Bloodstone cell. Okay, yeah, there it is. 12 plat for that. But there's another version that's even better. I don't think we're like hurting for money though. But yeah, see, they're dropping it super common. I wonder if I put on Dark Elf Mask, if I'll be able to get through Grob. Do you think I should try it? Or should I wait for Ashram? Because he's my insurance if I die. You just got booted. Okay. Did we get anything interesting? Backstab, flying kick, forage, taunt, remove frenzy. Not really. Disarm. Nope. I'm curious, can I use poison making as well? I can. Wonder if it actually works. I think tinkering is on here too. I don't see it though. I'm a master at evocation. That's kind of bad. I probably want to switch that to alteration. I wonder if the quest is in for that. I might be able to get my Runebone Fork on the way back from Upper Guk. I could also get Whiz Pants. Even though 12 agility is kind of nice. You are not a squire. I am sad. Mesh. I can also summon. I was thinking same, you need to switch that since you heal. Yeah, it sounds like we're actually going to go all in on me being a tank healer. So I'm basically like a paladin, or really a tank. I'm a warrior cleric combo, is what I like to call it. Here's the summoner. I think he might drop something else too, other than the potion with a pet. Lens of glowing amber. Nope. Nothing I care about. Okay. Ooh, is this the... Yeah, so the old Froglock is up. He is out of era and can be really nasty. I think he does drop something interesting, though. Let me double check before I invest. Welcome back.
All right, what are we up to?
So I found a tribute master in East Freeport, which is kind of nice. And I was tempted to try to go to Grob just to see if I could get... He might... No, I don't think he drops that, but we'll see. Anyways, go to Grob to grab the melee Augs, but... Anyways. And I'm just slowly coming back to you. In fact, I can get there now. I was just checking like Ancient Croc, getting a Runebone Fork, you know. Upper Gut shenanigans.
All of the things.
In fact, I'm going to go check Ancient Croc real fast, and then I'll zone over. Rude. He is not ancient. You guys are useless. Okay. So, any repop up there?
Yeah, everything's repop. Do you just want me to go check it?
I'll be in zone in like literally 60 seconds or less. Because I'm not killing anything. I'm just running to zone line. Okay. I'm about to be in zone. Zulu, cleric, warrior, princess. That's right. All right. So you are Astrum. I invited you to group again. I had to leave it because I was group porting. And I'll start killing my way over there if you want to start pulling.
I'm gonna rebuff real quick. And,
No worries.
Just a few things.
This two-hander definitely helps, though. I now have haste, so that's also nice. Do you mind if I train you? I'll get a little closer, but...
Yeah.
I guess I'll double check where your position before I train you.
I'm in this Fayfall.
There'll be a lot of mobs if I come from the vampire bats to you.
It's all pretty low though. It'll be alright.
Be fine.
I mean, if it's not, it's not. We'll find out quickly.
Yeah. I have my group port up still. But I'm also full mana, full health. Could have grabbed Assassin as well, but whatever. I'm mainly just getting to you, not pulling everything.
Oh yeah. Starting the stuns.
But yeah, Bard healing is, or Bard AE is definitely aggro-y. Come on, let me, oh, I'm stunned. I can't even heal.
I'm gonna stun and then I'm gonna toss you heal.
Yep, go for it. I tasked one on myself too, but wasn't enough. Okay. Now we should be good. Maybe? Are you gonna, there we go. How many color fluxes you got?
Just one.
Is the recast fast?
It's pretty quick.
I was gonna say, is it just
10
like,
seconds?
which one is it? Slant flux?
It is fifth.
What one?
Fifth. The level 21?
Gotcha. Remind yourself, work FD as hard as possible for Zachary traveling anywhere near me. Where's his, my FD still sucks. I keep getting fails every time. Well, because I usually don't use it. I want to take all the damage. But yeah, you having group heal super nice. It was an okay pull. Beast Lord. That would be me, right? Another embroidered shroud, but tribute-wise, Mana Stone is the only thing you need. Do you need egg capsules? I think so. That's the one you don't have Fable yet.
Sorry, which one?
It's in trade.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
So how are you?
Now I have a fabled one.
You still don't, or just got one?
I just got one.
Grats. So I think you have both Fabled now.
I do indeed.
I might as well, actually. See what Beast Lord gives me. Ooh, I got Spirit of Heracul, which is one of the warders, or Spirit of Axe, or Spirit of Ox.
I mean, you did just get an air pet.
My air pet's 39.
See what Heracul is real quick.
But we have no stamina buff, so that is actually not bad.
It is level 30. The Spirit of Heracul, sorry.
So it won't be worth it. I'll go Ox.
Did you make it through all these corpses?
Yep. They've all been looted.
Okay, good. Good. Alright, let's go up to Larod.
Sounds good. I'm just gonna get stamina on us while we go. Ox is only level 21, but still. It's so low because Beast Lord.
I mean, to be fair, we don't really have that buff coverage, though. We kind of have agility, AC
No,
hit
we
points.
don't. Yeah, we literally have 0 stamina buffs.
Stupid wizard. We gotta
Okay, I'm gonna look that
wrong.
up. I was meaning to. I just, obviously, I was working on other shit. Okay, double stammed us. I don't have charisma, by the way, but no worries. I'm not that worried. Hurting a bit. Let's...
They're stunned.
Yep.
Stunning. Sorry, I only say that so you can time your heals if you want.
No, dude, even if I'm not hurt, just letting me know that you're using them, it means that I won't like start kiting them or something stupid, you know?
Okay.
Because that'll get them out of AE stun.
Stunning.
Interestingly, it looks like AAs are starting to get farther ahead than levels. For the longest time, AAs were behind levels.
Yeah, true.
So an egg capsule, with both of us with Fabled, I would say let's just keep one on inventory unupgraded for, whenever we feel like it.
True. We gotta look that up.
Yes, let me look at it now.
I feel like we've been here for years.
I see people killing up. I see people complaining about Golor not spawning. Did you see we have to kill after Ghoulord?
No.
Do you want to know, or do you want to just get surprised when they, unlock?
Oh, you can tell me.
Okay, so after Ghoulord, we have to kill Nagia and Vox. So it's very similar to THJ in a sense.
I don't think it will be that bad, to be honest. I think if they're just standard, our elevated spells are pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. From what I can tell, we are just having bad luck, and it is known that, like, some people just have bad luck.
Okay.
From what I can see, I can't say that at high confidence, but that's what it looks like.
All right, so I guess we'll pull Executioner.
I just fell down. Oops.
Let's do Frenzy. Just get the kills for experience, I guess.
We can sell it on the bazaar.
Rue.
How bizarre. How bizarre. Do you remember that song?
Oh yeah. Was that Chumbawamba or something like that?
Something stupid. No, Chumbawamba was the baby dance song. Ooga laga, ooga, ooga, ooga zaka. Doesn't that Chumbawamba?
I don't think so.
Oh. Alright, guys. Twitch viewers, let us know.
No, they do. I get knocked down. But I get up again. You know.
So both of us were wrong. Unless, or your second guess was right, but unless they did both of it.
Oh, they could have.
We could look it up, but it's also fun to leave it open and have people speculate that are listening in. Though nobody's really responding. They're all doing their thing. Killing and whatever they're killing, probably because we're all EQ nerds.
This is what it's come to.
It's hilarious how many games are out there, and yet EverQuest still has like a special spot.
I mean, at least we're still getting decent experience in here, you know?
Yeah. Else to turn on attack. I'm like, why isn't this hit points just like at 2 and not dying? Oh, I'm not attacking. Yeah, speaking of, it would be nice to get haste. You know? We technically are dipping into 3 classes that have haste. And
Yeah, we haven't even seen quickness yet.
Yeah, we've not seen anything. Is it more mana efficient for you to AE?
I don't have anything that except heal that eats enough mana for me to be worried anymore.
Nice.
I haven't gotten like a big nuke in a while. Not that the ones that I have aren't good. I don't have anything to, you know.
Yeah, you haven't been keeping up.
Yeah.
Which I imagine as we get higher, that's going to continue being an issue.
I've been
Which is
getting
also.
decent dots though.
Hmm?
I've been getting some really good dots though.
That is good. But also, I think the whole plan we have should work really well. Instead of focusing heavily on melee, I mean, it's good to dip into melee, but you focusing on int, me focusing on whiz and stamina, is going to cause like the perfect spell farming combo.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we're going to need them.
Yeah, for sure. At this rate. Sometimes I have to go back and look through my book to see what I have.
It's probably smart.
Just like I'm looking at things that I don't remember getting.
It's almost a story. Because
Like,
every one that gets memmed is in order. But yeah.
I'll give you charisma, but like I have apparently I got the wisdom and intelligence one and I just didn't start using it.
Yeah, Fleeting Fury does not give haste, but it does give 20 dex and 15 strength. That is pretty nice. I don't know if it stacks with Strength of Earth and stuff, though.
Do you want me to try to keep Boon of a Clear Mind on you for mana regen or no?
I think Brilliance is only 15. I don't know if that's pivotal for me. Probably, though.
I mean, it's right now it's 11 of 11 in 11 with. I'm more so concerned about the mana regen buff. That one is clearly good. The other one is kind of eh.
Good luck, Dead. If one thing that's nice, Dead Zergling, is that if you're an upper Guck, you are technically within range for us to come grab you and res you if you get in trouble. What level are you up to there, Dead?
Alright, let's go grab everything up to XC.
13? I mean, technically, if you get in level range, you could group. You won't. Do you know what Fat and Wreck are up to?
I do not.
I saw him dead in the temple at level 9, And I was telling him the trick of how to keep an item on death. Because he wasn't planning to get rezzed. Did I tell you about that trick I learned?
No.
So, items on your cursor don't get flushed when it wipes you.
Oh. So if
So
you're
you can
dying, just pick up one thing.
No. Get your best bag, empty it, put all your best shit in it, put the bag on your cursor, and go res, and you get all the stuff in your bag.
Jeez.
Or let's say you kept like thousands of plat on you, you can just grab your plat and it'll save it. But you can only hold one item.
Pretty funny though.
But yeah,
I need
I
a
reported
100
that.
slot bag, please.
Yeah. Definitely easier not to die, but just saying, you know, if it comes to that. Ruined cowl might not be bad. I don't know how that's going to be. And then another eye. I picked up the eye. That's it, I think. So whenever a egg or eye drops, you can take it, and I think we're going to be done. Let's see what this cowl turns into. Rare. 14 int is not bad.
That would be really good.
Is it worth it though? 8 whiz versus... This has reanimation haste. This has reanimation efficiency. Both are pretty much useless to us. But no, it's definitely better. The Rune Cow, we're going to have to keep farming that. You'll get the next one for sure.
Did you loot all these?
I believe so. Let me double check. Yeah.
Do we just want to do some big pulls on live side while we wait for undead?
Sure. There's an eye right here if you want to pick it up just so you have a reg. It's on the stairs where I'm standing. Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, we may as well just EXP, basically. You know, pull it all, kill it all. Get some drops, why not? I pulled ass. Probably should kill these, though, around the point of where live side transitions. Because I did pull quite a few. Yeah, this is perfect. Anyways, yeah. I feel when we hit Kunark unlock, or, you know, when we start doing dragons and stuff, I do want to try... there's the A capsule on the gargoyle on the near the door. He, if you pick that up, you're done with Ogs, I think, too.
Yep.
This dropped a Mask of Deception. You got one already?
Yep, mine's fabled.
Oh, then I'll definitely take it. Lore? Lore? Epic. Rare. Thank you. If I go now, I got the lower flag, so it destroyed it, which is fine. This one still works, and my other epic is a dud. No, it works. So in other words, put on the epic. All right. Yeah, it still works. So what stats did you decide on, Dead? What AA stats? By the way, I'm sorry, I was very, very slow at what I was doing. Also, I'm not even in live side. Let me go down there.
Run along the north and the west. I'm gonna bring this group over there.
You mean like on the maze?
Yeah, just stay up top. I'm coming around now.
I see you. We can pull them right here. Nice little gap.
There's a lot.
Goody. Let me get my silos going. Boop. Do a heal. At least they're all kind of shitty. Yeah, they don't hit for anything compared to upstairs.
Their health is significantly lower too.
Yep, you just do a shot or two and they're dead. So these mana stones... I do want to grab a bag if I don't have one. I do already have a bag one. The mana stones are actually kind of worth stacking up and upgrading and stuff, just because they tribute really well, and you would definitely want tribute. I got a legendary. So basically, upgrade your mana stones just to have, you know, more on your inventory, because they're worth like 15k. There were some arms.
Ooh. So some of the spell tips on the spells you get in the pop-up are wrong.
Which ones you get that was wrong?
Pacify?
It said the level was really low or something?
I said the level was 10, the level's 55.
Yeah. There. Azure sleeves. Improved damage on it. You want them?
Sure.
You'll have to loot them because I have a bug. There's actually, I think, 2 pairs in here. Or maybe just one. No, I think there's just one, and I had a... You can't loot an item while you have an item on your cursor. I wonder if the UI bug, or the load UI fixes that too. Doubt it, but let's see. Nope. What about like auto-inv? Nope. Can I like relog real fast?
Sure.
I don't know if those are... Unless your sleeves already suck, it's probably worth it for the ID one, but...
Yeah, my sleeves are just 10 AC.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it then. Even with the degraded damage, it's probably going to scale well with all your shit. Or I'll be back real fast. There we go. Cool. Invited a group.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too. I'm going to go to...
forgot that I had a new P-Bay.
Wow, a higher level one?
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be poggers here in a sec. Did you kill King already?
I did not kill King, and nothing has re-popped up there yet, so we can go do a pull there.
Might as well. We could probably pull from here to King. We can go down through the maze, I guess. This dude dropped something, I thought. The one in this room. I don't know if it's anything.
I'll grab this stuff up here.
I don't even see him up, though. He hasn't been spawning. Can you imagine, by the way, you know how we're all tweaking shit and making EverQuest spiced up? Designing a system where It recognizes names, right? So if it's a name spawn, and the number of times it spawns lowers the chance it's going to spawn again. And then over time, it refreshes that. So like, you know what I mean? The cooldown reduces. So that means that if you haven't seen it in a long time, it's more likely to spawn. But then once it spawns, the chances of it spawning again diminishes. So you kind of get cursed on like high demand spawns. That's one of the areas of EQ that is always controversial anyways. So touching it, I bet a lot of people would be upset.
Yeah, probably. So the new P-Bay does 900 damage.
How much did the old one do?
350?
So in other words, GG?
Yeah.
Do you think that alone is going to make it where I should start grabbing wizard coins? If just to get another AE, or maybe not?
Probably.
Ooh, this is red.
Mean, yeah, it's it's not the
just a gin. Are we pulling all the way to king?
We can try, yeah. We might die, but it's whatever.
You think so? We can stop here.
Yeah, these are hurting you.
Yeah, that's true.
Stunning?
Yep. Then do your kabooms while I heal.
Booming.
Yeah, you take him down to half. I tried to get an AE slow. Yeah, that helped. You're not channeling it. What's the recast on it?
It is
Probably 10.
7 seconds.
Oh yeah, so not bad. I'm honestly happy that you got that, because now you can use all that spell power, and I'm keeping aggro pretty good too. Just by, you know, binding and healing.
All right,
which is
so we
perfect.
have I dinged. I've banish undead, dead man floating, or summon companion.
There is an argument for banish undead for single target, just big boom nuking. But dead man floating is also an amazing poison resist, which will be nice on like, is it Trachanon?
That's what I'll grab.
Plus levitate. And then summon companion, I mean, edge case utility, nice, not game breaking to not have. I think DMF is a solid one.
That's what I took.
Yep. And I just dinged an AA, and there's my level up. So I got arc shielding, primary anchor push, and summon companion as well. So arc shielding it is. Which gives me MR, so it's not like terrible.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the level 40. Cast times forever.
No king.
But it also lasts 3.5 hours. And gives 20 MR, 90 AC. No, somewhere in between. It's more like 50 AC potentially, unless it does the upper cap. I'm actually almost at 1,000 AC and 150 hit points. So that's good. I'm happy with that. I'm also very happy that you are doing crazy damage. Because your damage is my damage. And damage is win or die.
Especially here.
And there's another eye, but I think it's rot.
It's a rot.
But yeah, I think you're going to keep getting druid and shaman. If if I shift to cleric, because I would love to get remedy when we hit 51.
Yeah, for sure.
Because remedy will actually let me channel it while I'm tanking everything, which means I'll give that much more aggro, and then you can just focus on blasting the shit out of them and helping me stay alive with stun. And
2 stuns. That'd be crazy.
if I get a stun, that'd be even better. Which, do you think we should maybe shift Enchanter to me? Or, whatchamacallit? Basically, I'm thinking, like, what classes... Like, I almost think I can give you SK, so that you get Necro and SK just for the dots, and you know what I mean? Necro kit. And then I'll take Enchanter, unless there's something from Enchanter that you feel you need, because Enchanter's not going to be for damage, it's more utility, you know? CC and stuff.
Yeah, so, like, if we're truly... Well, I don't know. I don't really need Enchanter per se. Stuns are nice to have, and it gives me kind of a way to alleviate for you a little bit, but...
Well, now that you have Mez and Color Slant, if I take over Enchanter, I can at least take it over until I get a stun as well. You get what I mean?
Probably a good idea.
Kind of like you got group heal. If you wouldn't have gotten that, I would have definitely given you cleric, right? Or you can continue getting cleric. But now, because I'm like high whiz, it makes sense for me to go cleric. Because, you know, let's say Celestial Regen drops. I would love for me to have that with whiz, right? Or sorry, with wisdom, not whiz as in the class.
Let's do a spider pull. Just do a whole bedroom pull for just mobs.
Sure. I just killed some ritualists.
I'll just bring this stuff to you if you want, or if you're coming too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go into bedroom as our last spot.
No. Let's go get the skellies.
Gotcha. Okay.
This might be more than my P-Bay can actually hit.
But the thing is it doesn't matter. You're just going to kill them all eventually. It just will take you a little longer. And your mana is so efficient.
Yeah, that was both P-Bays and a stun. That was 8% mana.
Yep. I think our biggest bottleneck now, well, other than your damage keeping up with the hit points of mobs, which hopefully if you just keep focusing, you know what I mean, high int, and then whatever you need to supplement it, you're going to become super good spell damage. Because you don't have a cap like THJ does. And then I will probably have to go with... Here's Paladin.
Your pet's
What?
somewhere. Your pet has 3 wizards on him somewhere.
Whatever. Get over here. If he dies, whatever. Get over here. Come on. I like how he invised himself when I told him to back off.
I'd be crazy if that cleared it.
No, we're still in hate, so...
Yeah, there's stuff targeting him too.
Yeah, he's got aggro again. Another eye.
There's more eggs.
Cleric. So now the question... Wait, who... Am I now... Are you cool with that? I take over Cleric for a bit?
I don't care.
And... Yeah, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. It's just RNGesus.
like literally, once you get your spells, we're just gonna kick back to me getting cleric so that I can get the spells to back you up. So it's like
Yep.
it doesn't matter who gets it first. If right now you're scaling more efficiently than I am for sure, but once we get better gear, then I'll become more relevant. I won't be the most important, but obviously, wisdom spells are more important for you.
Well, the reason we can kill the number of mobs we just did is 100% you. There is zero way I could kill all that you just did. So you are scaling amazing as well.
No, of course, but like if it ever got to the point where we're booming something and I can cast dots while you heal me if need be. Like if I can't drop aggro, your heals are going to be more clutch.
Yes. So renewal is a 50% res. I don't think we care. I can just get an undead nuke.
I would just get the nuke. Renewal is good. I ended up with a 60% res too.
Okay, and then paladin. Ooh, instrument of knife is not horrible. I wish you had instrument of knife. Because if that procced when you fucking meleeed, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But endure poison, I don't think it'll stack with dead man floating. So I should just get instrument of knife as well.
Yeah, probably.
So that would have been an argument for you to be pally, instead of me eating that one.
Well, do we want me to kick over to Pally then if you're getting cleric?
Probably because the things I'm getting at this point on pally are going to be just inferior. Because you just need a heal. You don't need the best heal.
Even healing would be better than nothing at this point.
Yes. So yes, we're going to give you pally from now on. I kind of wish I would have done that. If you would have gotten instrument instead of me, that would have been better. Because
let's jump down here and we'll pull all of the top.
Yep. Give me the proc. Oh, no proc. Give me the proc.
Do you want to pull the pull up top and then meet me back here at the safe hall?
Sure. Making me work. I'm just mindlessly following you. Come here. I'm pulling Executioner area. And also pull Savant. Oh, Savant's already pulled.
Oh. They're
Shit.
coming to you. I'm almost dead though.
Did you flop?
Yeah, but I flopped and I can't heal though.
Oh.
I can't cast at all.
I just got rooted.
Evac. I'm gonna try to camp real quick.
Hold up, dude. I flopped and it didn't work. I'm gonna try to gate. I'm dead.
This might not be good.
What are you able to do?
It DC'd me.
Oh no. Dead Zergling, did you get a res? I don't think we'll have an issue finding a res, but yeah, that sucks. You know what makes sense as well, by the way, is making like a level 14 alt and we just log it in and res ourselves. Or at least res the other person and that reses us. No, you have no res, but that's all right. We'll OOC.
Let me see if I can get back in.
Macbeth, you good or you need a res? We will see.
Alright, I stabilized. Where did you die at?
Safe room. A little bit outside in the jail area.
Alright, let me get there. It shouldn't take me too long.
Was there anything I should tweak with my build? Like maybe get out of strength? I mean, since I'm dead. Strength didn't give me anything other than frenzy, ferocity, but I'm kind of slipping away from that now, you know? I'll respect.
All right, well, we stress tested again, and things have happened.
I am using a level 10 heal, by the way. It doesn't actually super help on bad situations.
Yeah, I think I would have been okay. I successfully feigned. The issue was, A, they all ran to you, and B, when I stood up, I couldn't heal.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what happened, but I DC'd.
Yep. And I didn't fully compute what you feigning implied because I was like coming to you to heal. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, wait, now I have to flip to, wait, red? Heal? No, teleport. And I was dead at that point.
Ooh, bounce lasts 30 seconds. It's pretty nice.
What? Bound? What? Say it again?
Bounce? The reflection?
Oh. With your charisma stat and everything?
Yeah. Alright. I got to your body.
Cool.
Let me rare. And it's not a poopy 10% this time.
Ooh la la. 60%. Poggers.
Oh yeah.
Top tier, yo. So at this point, I think as long as one of us lives, it's a success story.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a lot dicier than it should have been, but your feign death worked. I need to work on mine better because it just is never reliable. Like literally, I just tested it and I failed. I'm at 47 skill. What are you up to?
101?
Yeah, that explains it. All right, so I'm gonna go whiz and charisma and start pumping. I went ahead and reset, but I will do a healing gift and stuff still. And I'll work towards super healing. All right. So Wiz Charisma maxed. And for the one I want, I have to get them both the combined of 5. And I have it at 1 of 5. This also means my heal is that much stronger. Let's see how much I do. 607, but I think it overhealed. Let me also group you. Well, hopefully you get a res at some point, dead Zergling. You'll be our backup insurance. And vice versa, if we're playing and you're playing. Honestly, the server seems pretty chill. Like, if there's a dead announcement, people immediately ping. So, healing adept requires 5 ranks. And I am at 1 of 5. So, 8 more AAs, and I will be able to start ranking it. Okay. I should be buffing, but oh well. Is Lord up and everything?
They have respawned.
Okay. My res is 60 seconds away. We could probably start, but just don't mass pull because I'll kind of be lacing in buffs. Oh, I also need to get silos. Okay. Now, get an AE off. But yeah, this means my melee just got nerfed, but I don't think my melee matters with how much we're just group pulling now.
Yeah.
All that matters for me is I got Largo's binding, and if I can keep myself alive, we're good, and keep you alive.
Come on. Again?
I'm going to ask Macbeth any trick to get Lord to spawn. Just kill the placeholder.
Unbelievably bad RNG.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, how many cycles have we done?
At least 15. So if you're worried less about melee damage now, is there something to be said for doing like the Testament of Veneer quest that's gonna give you like 40 wisdom, but make you carry an offhand book?
I grabbed the gnome, apparently. Yeah, no, Veneer, you love the Veneer quests.
Yes, I do.
You are an expert at it.
Yes, I am.
If you want to do it, yes, I might just switch to, stat sticks.
I mean, because I'm gonna do it tonight probably. At least, for if you want one, I'll just get two because it
Yeah.
would pet. It
Does it
doesn't
give
make
int
sense for
too?
me to be meleeing right now either.
No, I think, and we kind of predicted this.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Out of the wall, dumb pet.
Yeah, mine was doing stupid shit too. There she is. It's because he was way underground and it just fucked it up.
He's got a cool looking sword though.
Yeah, he's got a Wakazaki looking sword. What do you think's their spawn time? Like 30 minutes? Yeah, he's got a Wakazaki.
I don't know what the spawn time is. Spawn time in some zones is like 2 minutes. Sometimes it's like 10 minutes. I don't know. We could go do the executioner hallway though.
Yep. Or we can
Experience
do.
is really starting to slow down in here though.
Yep. But yeah, I think I'm just going to stat stick it because of how shitty, or, melee doesn't AE, period.
Well, and like to be fair, if you're able to hold aggro with just spells, is there really any reason to melee at all? Like you could go a testament in one hand, and then go
No, 100% what I'm thinking.
the wisdom shield from Soul B in the other hand.
Yep.
That's like 50 wisdom right there.
Yeah, I think I will max abundant or healing abundance and then switch over to like stamina. You know what I mean? Like tank. I won't even bother because as long as I continue to aggro really well, which considering you're doing 900 AEs and you're struggling to like hard pull aggro with that, you know?
Yeah. Well, and so like eventually it would make sense for you to go uh like mage shaman not mage, but shaman, because if you can Tash Mallow, that's huge aggro. So
That's
like if you
true.
ever ended up with like Wave of Tash, good
Or
game.
yeah, Winds of Teshani as well. And yeah. I got a
You got a
bard,
Heck yeah.
which I guess I'll take. I don't know. So there is an argument. Well, no, I don't think you would ever want to use like AE bard songs because um you just do so much damage with Wiz. You'll never touch it.
Yeah.
Psalm of Purity, Hasten, Celerity, and Area of Eagles. So group haste. Group haste is something. I would never use it though. Honestly, I would probably wouldn't use any of this. Maybe Purity.
Yeah. I don't know.
Either haste, Purity. I mean, Levy is. I don't think it matters. I won't use either until they fix it. But when they fix it, Psalm of Purity gives AC as well. Fix it meaning that it's perma.
Yeah.
Celerity would give haste. And we have 0 spell haste. But when we do get it, it'll last like 2 hours. So it's not like, spell haste is going to be hard to keep up. I don't know. I'll do Purity. We can test it. I'm curious if it does give AC. Why? Psalm of Purity should be under statistics, but it's not. Where is it? Damage shield?
Oh, Frenzy is up.
Oh. Yeah, it still gives AC. Let's see how much it gives. And let's see how much the DS does. Okay, so I have 920. 925. Yeah, my percussion sucks. I'm assuming that's percussion. No, it's singing. So that should actually be high. And how's the DS? Um, 8. I mean, it's something, but it's not even worth noting.
I'm gonna pull these over to Frenzy.
Okay. I'm having navigational challenges. Anyways, my vision is you probably go int charisma eventually. You got strength for early. Do you have to get combined strength for deep gouge?
Yeah. Strength
Okay.
and
But even still, you basically are a melee smacking, og procking wizard, and I'm a mass healing beef chunk that plays a bard song to keep aggro. And if we like just go all in on that, and if it keeps scaling like it has been, we will probably be very comfortable as it grows, you know?
Yeah, it'll be good.
And of course, I'll dip into with spells and AEs and, you know, enchanter stuns, and you'll dip into heals at least a little bit so you can pad when I'm like in oh shit stun situations and stuff. But those will be our fortes, our focus with AAs.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Hello, wizard. And if Deep Gouge and Dot stack in the way that you're hoping, then when we're fighting, let's say, Nagy or Vox, you can just melt the shit out of them, feign death, and I can sit there and just keep myself alive.
Yeah, that is true. Do we want to mess with live side or no?
Meh.
We can just hang out. Level your feign death.
That's what I'm doing. And trying to think what else. Well, if and when you do get to get Ghoulor done and want to continue Prague, I want a hand, let me know. I said, no worries, we're kind of doing self-found. Is that what it's called? I think it is.
This is a riveting watch. Just watching two people level feign death. We are so strong. This is what it's come to.
I told him, once we wipe, we may cry out in OC, but I've done a lot. I tend to be the bait. Or I guess I really should say I tend to not level up my feign death. I feel if you want to have fun later, you know, like as an experimental thing, you're still going to have issues landing, though, is trying to get that giant. I think you need charisma, or we need to like get a lot of debuffs like Malo, Tash, and shit so you can land. And you need a better nuke. In fact, you probably should keep getting whiz shit just so you can keep getting the best nukes and really lay in with that int, you know?
Yeah.
Because even if I had AEs, I'll never do the damage of you. Like, if I got a really awesome pillar of, you know, column of ice spell, it's actually a waste because I have 0 int invested.
That's true.
I mean, I'd have it through base stats, but just for fun, what's your int again?
302?
Oh, speaking of, I messed up. Planner power. Boom. Upgrade equipment. Boom. I died, so I have to retrain my AAs. Or I respect. Sorry, so what'd you say it again?
302.
Yeah, see, I have 186. So every nuke you do, I don't even know how it scales, but it's at least going to probably do like 150 damage. More when you do it.
Right now, it's just about times 4.
So it's a multiplier. It's not a value
Yeah.
based.
Like my Inferno Shock at the top end does 600 damage, but right now if it hits the hardest, it hits for 3,000.
Yikes. Well, you figure my heal is supposed to be doing 175, and with 269 whiz, I'm hitting like 900.
Yeah.
So let's round it to 200, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. It's like the same thing, 5x roughly, with a crit.
Yeah. It's pretty strong.
So interesting. And I imagine, melee stats are strong. I don't want to devalue the whole like strength deck stuff, but it's the same problem with THJ. Being able to AE is amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
What I need to do, I actually have some inventory I gotta like destroy and clean up. Okay, so you're planning to hook up. Did you plan to do that tonight?
Yeah, probably when cutoff happens, I'll probably just go run around to do that.
Okay, because you're not going to call it at midnight. You're just going to go do some solo stuff.
Yeah, this is my last week of my 2 weeks of work, so I'm kind of on the coasted out, you know?
Yep. Hmm. I need to find a banker that's easy to access. The closest banker in North Row is going to be North Freeport, right?
Yeah, that we can get into.
Is there a banker in like Evil Side Tunnels?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Although I can group port us to Lesser Fate Arc, that'd probably be closer.
Wait, you mean Greater Fate Arc?
Yeah, sorry, greater.
Yeah, and that would be same zone bank, but you have to run all the way to Kelvin or Felwith, which, how fast is the bank from?
It's still 2 zone lines away, so it's not so much faster.
So basically, every port we have currently, it's a 2-zone run to get to a bank. Which is poopy. That'll change, I think. No. Man. That's one thing I miss with THJ, is the convenience of...
Global bankers?
Yes. Well, not even just global bankers, being able to port, bank, and go home, or return, That's huge. Inventory management's a pain. I'm going to delete some of my backpacks. They're heavy, and I'm no longer strength. But yeah, I need to go to the bank because I have like tentacle whips. Should I just destroy these, honestly?
I mean, if you're not going to go back and wear them, we're probably not.
I never probably will because they don't scale properly from what I saw.
Yeah,
I could verify
they're
that.
not very good compared to like my augs, my weapon augs are like the stun one I'm running does 370 damage, but the whip only procs for like 50.
Yep. I'm gonna use my one-hander real quick. I just want to see how much it does.
Let's see how much this dot proc does.
Hmm. 22 with an exceptional heal of 16. That's how much I hit him for. It doesn't actually tell me how much I healed, but it's probably 22. So it's not worth it. And by the way, my weapon aug, I can't transplant because I bought the wrong solvent or distiller. There is a chance that the merchant wasn't selling the right level distiller. I need to double check that when we get back. But anyways, yeah, I'll just destroy these tentacle lips. They're not scaling well. They might scale. Have you tried one with your higher int?
The tentacle whips, yeah, they're not good.
Yeah, I think there's just a formula on here where you need high damage and then it scales high damage.
Well, like so I upgraded a serrated bone dirk, and the proc on that does 111 per tick.
Mm-hmm. Mine did like 30 or 40. But obviously you have a shitload of int with it. But just for comparison's sake, you know?
Of course.
Because I'm half tempted, if we're going to be calling it here shortly anyways, let's do one last cycle. And then let's... I got to figure out a way to get a distiller from my troll. I think the easiest is I just row port shared bank from North Freeport, sorry. And then I'll do that real quick while you're working on your junk. And then we can call it. Looks like Frenzy area is repopping. We're basically hitting a point where it just makes sense to us to just kill Lord and that's it, you know? Other than just for passive killing.
Is there DZs or what's the respawn time on the dragons?
Well, we saw the DZ in... There is a timer site. Where was it at?
Okay.
Useful links. There's a named website. And right now, Nagy and Vox are both up.
Okay.
And they repop every hour.
Ooh, that's nice.
But yeah, you get
looks
a...
like we're getting popped now.
Yep, I'm killing up the north... up to the Lord area.
I really want to get Arc Magus robe, please. No, of course not.
Yeah, you need that rune cowl. I'm sad I upgraded. I thought it was not that great, so I just sort of did it. And then I'm like, oh wait, that's really good int.
Nope, not him again.
Of course. But yeah, me getting Enchanter would make a lot of sense because of the whole AE stunning. The more of us that have that, the better. Because if you got like Fear locked, Root locked, Charm locked, if the other player can just stop all the damage we're taking, that's perfect. And vice versa,
Yeah, true.
So at least until I get a color flux or something, which I could always go farm. I still think priority, other than, getting Testament's important. If I go play on my own, I need to go do Flux Staff.
Okay. Is it hard to do?
No. It's super easy. The hardest part is just the zones you have to travel to. But with the Eldon merchant or the Eldon teleporters, it should be easy. Let me tell you the quest.
I'm getting chain stunned into oblivion.
Yeah, sorry. I apparently didn't use my stuns or the AE slow. So we need a Lambent Stone, a Heart of Fire from Saleh from the Wizards. I probably should have mentioned that while we were there. Whoops. And a Heart of Frost from the Goblin Wizard in Permafrost. That one can sometimes be annoying. Like in THJ, it was a little, but not hugely annoying. And then the last thing is a Rod of Bone from Lake Rath. It's from the skeletons over by where the Necro Epic is.
Okay.
Anyways, just 3 really easy things, but absolutely worth it for us because clicky, instacast, pulling of shit mobs to AE would be perfect. Because I can get a low-level enchanter coin, get a stun, even if it's not long duration, it'll just be enough for you to recover potentially, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we could literally just go around and pull like all the crap in Freeport. Since like the newbie area in Freeport's so tiny, you just round all that up.
Best zone, 100%, no debate, is actually Nectalos. You know how many mobs are in Nectalos?
No.
Like 842 or something? Like, it is impossible to full clear Nectalos. Anyways, okay, do you want to go ahead and call it here? We had a repop.
Oh, we can?
Because we both have something to do. I'm going to go real quick. And did you want me to port you to Row with me?
I gotta think for a second. Row is not gonna be close. I need.
Well, no. Row is Eldon. Eldon means like a lot of access points.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah, because you can always go to your places at your leisure, or your ports.
Gotta figure out what's closest to Rivervale.
Oh, that is a good question. I have commons, but it's a ring. I can't teleport you there. What do you need in Rivervale?
I have to get to Highhold.
I would offer, but I'm trying not to get caught into too much shit with 6 minutes left of the cutoff, and I'm probably going to get my melee og swapped is about the level of time.
Will you re-soak?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Let me get you see those. Oh, you're right here. Sorry.
Yep.
There you go.
Thanks.
It now lasts just exactly 3 hours.
3 hours? Golly.
Yep, because I'm pumping a charisma now. I do have gate now as well, which means I can now bind. Heck, actually, I should just gate because I go to GFA. And it puts me right at the Kelethan. At a weapon merchant randomly. But I mean, that's where I should have gone. Okay, so the banker, I believe he is south where the parcels are right there. Which I think means we gotta go up. Which is this way. Yeah. Yeah, so he took out the melee ogs on some locations, but not in others. Okay, I need to go south. Perfect. Which part are you running to first? High pass?
So there's a couple of things I check for. I do the ogre camps. So I ported to Corona. So
Okay.
I do the ogre camps here, then I go check for Pegasus cloaks and all that mess, because
You have
might
a
as well
cycle.
start early.
Yeah, I should check if the epics are they actually in? I thought remember you said that the mage epic was a possible RNG one?
It's a spell, yeah.
So like you get it just by chance?
Yeah. But also, Lord Grimrot is out here, and he drops a Wisdom Cloak. Well, not drops. You can quest for it, but he's worth killing as well. On my way.
But do you know if we have to do the normal epics? Or is there like a
I'm not sure. I've seen people with them,
correct?
but I don't know.
We may want to double check that at some point. And don't forget when you're going about, if you think about it, next time you're in a town, go to the Tribute Masters.
Oh yeah, true.
Okay, they do sell Distiller 6. Granted, I'm not going to probably... Testament of Veneers primary?
I think it's both.
Okay. So
I think
I'll
Paula is the primary one.
Got it. I'll still buy some Distillers because I can always flip them around and they're going to be useful. Yeah, I'll grab like a stack of 20. Possibly should buy a second one. But yeah, the reason I asked is I could always go do the high pass part for you just because I can port there a little quicker, but I don't think it's that much faster. It's only like a zone or two difference than you.
Yeah.
And you know exactly what you're doing. I would be meandering once I get there.
It's not too bad, because I just go through the Karanas and then I go through Runny Eye, and then I'm there.
There you go. All right. Yoink. I'm going to go and upgrade one. Perfect. Very nice. Okay. So I'm done. Did that maintenance. I'll probably switch, though, to probably the serrated bone dirk because I'll be wearing veneer in offhand.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll toss on my heal log. Nice. And then we just hit o'clock. If I play a little bit later, like tomorrow before we play, I'll probably just work on the prereqs for flux staffs.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I get any of that done tonight.
Yep. But otherwise, as usual, it was fun.
Yeah, man.
We will play tomorrow. Let me get a raid going. Thanks everyone who's been hanging out watching. Stayed up late. We will eventually play THJ again, but frankly, this has been more fun than THJ would have been going through all of Pop. Let's go. Do we want to raid Broani? Let's raid Del Moranis. But again, thanks guys. Del Moranis. Boop. All right. Have a good night.